Fala Massa, what's up everybody? Today is the final game about to start for the final of Campeonato Mineiro, which is the state championship. It's Galo against our biggest rival, Cruzeiro. We are the home team, even though we had a better campaign in the preliminary phase, during the group phase. They eliminated any kind of advantage this year, so if there's a tie at the end, there's just one game. If there's a tie at the end, it goes straight to penalties. Galo is coming with all of its starting players. Everybody that we could bring is ready. The only doubt for today was who's going to form the defense. It was going to be Nathan Silva, everybody knew, and the other question was, or the other spot was a question, was it going to be Junior Alonso, who just came back? Was it going to be Godin, who's not playing very well? Hever won this spot. He's the captain for today. The ball's rolling right now, so here we go. Either today is going to be a big frustration, or today is going to be a capstone on just a whole past year of lots of successes. So, game starting now. Galo Cruzeiro. Vamos ver.
Atlético 0 Cruzeiro, tentativa, o toque de cabeça no canto, passou perto, e do outro bloco estava no lance, deu susto no Ederson.
Achei que fosse gol. Man, I really thought that was about to be a goal of Cruzeiro from this corner kick. Tem treta. There's like some pushing, shoving, people talking shit. Hever, our captain, most experienced, most games for the team out of anyone in the field. Him and like main attacker Edu from Cruzeiro. They're getting into it. I'm waiting to see what the referee's gonna do, but they're getting into it. Hever is the most experienced. He's our captain. And as well, if he would win a title today, he would tie for the second most titles in the history of Galo for one player. So Hever and Edu both took a yellow card. Edu is much shorter than Hever, so he's just like... Go! Hell yeah! Hook! Hook. Yeah, long shot from outside the box. Hook went this way, faked out the defender, and then shot back across into the corner. It went so far over to the corner, I thought it was gonna be out. Hell yeah. Chupa. Goal for Hook. 1-0 Galo against Cruzeiro in the final of Campeonato Mineiro, the state championship, 1-0. No, como ele tá incrível. Não. Chupa. Nossa, que belo gol. Atlético 1, Cruzeiro 0. Não, muito bom. Goal, Hulk, 1-0, Galo. Torcida, the fans of Cruzeiro are just absolutely silent. Today's game is half and half of the fans. No one has a home team advantage. This is the new rule for this year. It's like one game, half and half fans. No one has an advantage for like a better group phase, fase preliminar. No one has an advantage. It used to be that there was like a home and away, and the team with the better campaign had the right to win the title from two ties or like an equal difference of goals. But this year it's just one game. If there's a tie, it goes to penalties. The stadium is like half and half. And let me tell you, watching it on TV, eu só ouvi torcida do Galo. I'm only hearing Galo's fans the whole game, even since when it was tied and it was 0-0, especially now that it's 1-0. Eu só ouvi torcida do Galo. Only hear Galo's fans singing, supporting the team. Oh, como Maria é tudo frouxo. They're like, man, I wish if you haven't lived in Brazil and you haven't lived in Belo Horizonte, it's really difficult to explain to you how much Cruzeiro's fans wish that they were like a great fan base and think that they are, but are just like a joke to everyone. They don't support the team. They only go to the team when it's like a championship game. They only go to the games. Like the building that we lived in, there was a family that like claimed to be die hard. In the 6 years that I lived in Brazil, I never saw them go to one Cruzeiro game, ever. But they claimed to be like die hard, and they had the money to go. There were games where Cruzeiro would put their tickets for like 10 reais, which is like $2. And they didn't go. Like, this is the fan base of Cruzeiro. They just sit there and they be quiet and they don't support the team. And it's so much better to be a fan of Galo. The fans are like actual fans who actually support the team. And here comes another 3 minutes of added time for the first half. 3 de acréscimos. Nossa, como o Cruzeiro ama cair. Man, you get close to them, you appear in their shadow, and their players fall down. It's embarrassing. Finally, Cruzeiro's team is like their fans are actually woke up and came back from the dead. But I mean, it's gonna last for 2 minutes. They don't actually do something for the whole game. We're in the final 30 seconds of the first half. Everson has made some really good saves here in the last minutes of the first half, where Cruzeiro was desperately trying to go into halftime tied. They were really seeking that goal to tie up before halftime. But Everson made some really good saves. Cruzeiro's strategy is to basically, like, if a Galo player gets close to them, fall down, get a fault so they can get the ball back. It's a pretty strange strategy, but it's kind of working. The referee is giving them all the faults that they want. And that's the whistle for the end of the first half. Galo's winning. Gol de Hulk. 1-0. Galo at halftime. Thoughts on the first half? Galo absolutely way technically better than Cruzeiro. So Cruzeiro doesn't want to come at us and go like one-on-one, time contra time, because I don't think that they're able to. So their strategy has been to just, like, you know, pretend to get hurt, fall down, get some faults, try to force some yellow cards or force some, like, warnings from the referees against Galo. It's a really cheap strategy that's, when you know the other team is way better than you, this is how teams play. You just, fall down and hope for some faults, hope for some yellow cards. Maybe, they do this enough times and it could turn into like an opportunity from like a direct kick. It could turn into an opportunity where, like, maybe one of Galo's players takes a red card and gets expelled. They're talking to Dudu, but I have zero interest in anything that guy wants to say. No, Dudu. Edu, sorry. This guy is cuzão de cuzão. So Galo, way superior. Cruzeiro playing in a super cheap, dirty way, trying to get faults because they know that they're just, otherwise they would. Vamos pro segundo tempo. Second half starting now. 0 substitutions, no one's changing. So here we go, 45 more minutes plus stoppage time to see who will be the winner of the state championship. Right now, 1-0 Galo. It's like 11 minutes of the second half. Just took out Cano, who did not have a very good game today, and put in Ademir, who has been really good lately. I expect more changes. Because this has been a very physical, very exhausting game. I expect more changes, but As of right now, first substitution in the game is Galo taking out Keno for Ademir, which I really expected to actually happen at halftime. Here comes a corner kick for Galo. Because only Galo's fans are singing right now. Really supporting the team. Hulk lost control of the ball. It was about to be him face to face with the goalie. Couldn't control the ball. I was already about to celebrate that second goal. Cruzeiro is making some substitutions. Sai Cusão, enter Cusão. Sai one asshole, enter another asshole. I pretty much don't know the names of most of their players, and I don't really care to. I think the attitude of how their team plays is just shitty. If you ever saw the kids movie The Mighty Ducks, and you remember how like their team sucked, so the coach taught them just like, if a guy gets close to you, take the fall, act hurt, get indignant. Kai. Finge que você está machucado e fica chateado. This is how their team plays, and it's shitty. Go!
Não, porra!
Nacho!
Fala dele, caralho!
No.
Nacho, man! Caralho, Nacho Hernandez!
Wow, beautiful goal. Some really, really good crosses. Nacho faked out a defender, passed right in front of the other one, over the goalie. Excellent goal, excellent goal. 33 of the second half. Oh, my dog is here because everyone's screaming and shouting and everything's exciting. No, right in the corner. Excellent, excellent goal. Nacho Fernandes. 2-0 Galo. Excellent. So happy right now. No words for it. So I completely lost track of the time of the game, and during the replay of the goal, it wasn't showing. So it's actually 21 of the second half right now. Galo's leading 2-0. I had said it was like 33. No, there's way more time left in the game. I mean, obviously a lot can happen, but Galo's totally dominating the game up to this point, winning 2-0. Cruzeiro is not in a bad spot because their defense has been weak, and in order for them to, go after the goal, they're gonna have to expose themselves even more, which is gonna leave their defense even more open on the backside. Chupa Cruzeiro. O Galo é o terror. They're singing this right now. It's like, hey, Galo is your terrorizer. Hey, Galo é o terror. There's only, like, if you just listen, the announcers are trying to keep talking to cover all the noise and provocations from the fans, but the sounds like in between, all you hear is the fans from Galo. Sempre que o Galo vai jogar, eu vi as coisas pra bola, eu vi Vitor de bico isolar. 9-2 eu já ganhei, vi o gol do Vanderlei, eu falo lá de costas a chorar, filha da puta, do verão nem vou lembrar, Mineirão cê fez calar, e o Galo para sempre eu vou te amar, o que? The announcer was like, let's listen to the celebration of all the fans of Galo in the stadium, and they turned off the microphone right at the time to hear us singing this song totally to provoke Cruzeiro, and they paused and turned up the sound of the fans right at the time where there's a part that they say do Fábio lá de costas a chorar. Fábio was a long time goalie of Cruzeiro, idol of their team. There was a time where he had his back turned didn't see that the play had restarted, took a goal, and then was like crying about it during an interview after the game. So there's like Fabio Logical says Fabio with his back turned, standing there crying. And then when we say this part, then everybody yells, "Filho da puta," like son of a bitch. And this was right when the moment when they turned up the sound from the fans on the cameras from the stadium for the TV broadcast. I was cracking up. The announcers keep saying about how like the fans of Cruzeiro are like pushing, supporting the team, believing until the end. And then they go around and they show the people, and then you just see like what the guy says and what the camera's showing are two totally different things. Like Cruzeiro fans are always like they are like the example of fans that you see when the camera goes around that people aren't watching the game and they're just like playing on their phone. You're like, dude, you could have done that at home and you didn't have to buy a ticket. How is this not a penalty? How is this not a penalty? The goalie dove, took out Hulk's feet when it was like him coming at the goalie. Penalty. The goalie was not even close to the ball, just absolutely flat, laid out Hulk from the bottom up. Yes! Go! 3-0. Chupa. Chupa. Hulk. Hulk is gonna get a yellow card. He took off his shirt in the celebration. No. Deslocou o goleiro. Goalie absolutely to the other side, not even close to the ball. Hulk is really good at kicking penalties. Nossa, toma Maria. So I just want to say, muito parabéns para Hever. Total congratulations to Hever, our captain for the game today. He's been the captain of the team a lot of time. This is his second time playing for the team. He had left for like 2 years and then came back. He's been the captain in most of our most important titles. He won Libertadores 2013, Copa do Brasil, the Cup in 2014. The Cruzeiro fans are revolting. They're like their signs, they're throwing their signs, they're shredding up their signs that they had made supporting the team. They're throwing garbage at the field. Chora. It's like, it's not just great winning, it's even more delicious when you can just like cut the arrogance of the other team. Cruzeiro has always been a really arrogant team. This is 3 years in second division for them. They are like living in second division now. And they still continue to be like, yeah, but we have more titles than you guys. I don't give two shits that you have more titles. Like, you're living in second division, looking up at us, watching us win everything. The state, the league, the cup, the super cup, now again the state. Like, and you're looking up at us from second division, watching us win all of this, and trying to be like, but we have more titles than you guys. That doesn't matter. That's the past. Right now, you guys are living in second division. No one respects your team anymore, and the whole country loves watching you guys suffer like this because your team has always been so arrogant. So seeing the fans just revolting and tearing up their signs and throwing the trash on the field, it's delicious. É muito saboroso assistir a chorar assim. But so back to Hever. Hever has been the captain in basically the most important titles in the history of Galo. He also has several state titles, Libertadores, two Copa do Brasil, the Brazilian Championship last year. This will be his 11th title with Galo, which now ties him for the second most titles of any player in the history of Galo. The only person that's ahead of him is João Leite, who was a goalie for Galo for a long time. He won 12 titles. Included in that was a Copa Conmebol, like the Conmebol, which is the association you should know from South America. He won a Copa Conmebol. This was an old tournament that has basically gone away, and they turned it into the Sul-Americana now, South American Cup. But Galo won that and a bunch of state titles with him. So the importance of the titles that he has is much, much lower than the importance of the titles that Hever has. And now Hever has 11 titles, tied with Kafunga, who played at Galo for a long, long time in the early years, from like the late 30s to the 50s. Now Hever ties with him for 11 titles, and he's one behind João Leite, who has 12 titles with Galo. So, muito parabéns para Hever. Puta que pariu. Cruzeiro just scored a goal from a header from corner kick. 43, so it's now 3-1. Wanted to really shut them out. It was a good goal from a header from corner kick. 40, basically 44 the second half. Really wanted to shut them out. It's much more fun to win when the other team doesn't score anything. 3-1, we still win, but 3-0 would be better. It's going to be 4 minutes of stoppage time. Mais 4. That's the whistle. Apitou. 3 vezes. Tricampeão. Is in English we could say, for any Brazilians watching, you say threepeat. So it's like when you do something again, it's repeat, threepeat, tricampeão. Galo has won the state championship now 3 years in a row, continues being the biggest winner, the most times winner of this state championship. Is Galo much ahead of Cruzeiro in second place, continuing to just reign over the state and over Brazil. Galo has won every championship that the team has entered in Brazil for the past year. The state, the cup, and the league last year, the Super Cup at the beginning of this year, and then again this state championship. Galo is over 300 days without losing a game in our city, which is just like mind-boggling. Even though today we weren't technically the home team and it was a 50-50 neutral site for the final of the state championship, we're over 300 days without, that goes back to last year. The last time that we lost a game in our city was the first round of the league last year at the very beginning of May. 300 days without losing a game in our city is insane. Galo, mais uma vez, construindo hegemonia, is like a hegemony, is like a domination of the state and of Brazil, continues just being a controlling force. And all I can say is, eu quero mandar uma chupa para a Federação Mineira e todos os outros times. All the 11 other teams of the state championship. So there's 12 teams in the state championship. Galo, the 11 other teams late last year got together and voted to change the rules of the state championship to try to take away the advantages of Galo. Because it used to be that there would be an away game and a home game for the final, and the team that had a better campaign in the first phase had the right to play for 2 ties or to play for an equal difference of goals. All of those teams know that the chances of them beating Galo for 2 games, or beating Galo and then tying the second game and coming away with an advantage after 2 games, especially when Galo gets one of those games at home, they know that that is impossible for them. So they decided to change it for this 1 game, neutral field, half and half in the fans, because the chances of you beating Galo or tying and going to penalties and hoping for some good luck. They know that that's much better than the chances of them beating Galo when they have to play 2 games and they have to win one of them, because Galo is always arriving in the final with the advantage from a better campaign. So they decided to take away all those advantages, even with all of that, and even manipulating in the background to try to take away those advantages. Neutral side, Galo decided, okay, so if we don't have an advantage, fuck it. Galo sent the B team and the reserves and the juniors to all of the away games and played our starting team for the away game. The home games, we still came away with better campaign. We still won the final. Chupa. Eles tentaram tirar a vantagem para construir uma situação melhor para o Cruzeiro ter uma chance. Foda-se. I can't tell you how happy I am that Galo can just say okay, you guys did all of that and we still beat you. We still won. It doesn't matter. I love it. And I love all the people holding up giant letter B's in the stadium to remind Cruzeiro, oh, and by the way, you guys are in Serie B again. Beautiful. Congratulations, Galo. Mais uma vitória. E o Galo ganhou. Do Clube Atlético Mineiro. They're playing the team's hymn. The fans are cheering. O Galo ganhou mais uma vez. Ai, credo. It's like Galo won again. Believe it. It's beautiful. Ser atleticano é bom demais. So they're giving the medals and everything, and they're setting up the podium in the middle of the field to give the cup for the title. So I'm not going to record all through that. I just want to say that Galo was much better than Cruzeiro for the whole game. Cruzeiro managed to get a goal at the end, but much too late for it to turn into, hey, we got a goal, there's a chance. It was way too late for that. It was already into stoppage time by the time that they got this one goal, and they still needed 2 more to try to take the game to penalties. It was too late for any kind of reaction. But for them, it's saving their honor to not get just completely shut out. They actually, they managed to get a goal. But merecido, Galo deserved to win this game. Better campaign in the preliminary phase. Better, goals difference during the preliminary phase. Best defense. Qualified in first place. Our team is much better. We played much better. We had better shots. We created better chances. I really believe that, even though Cruzeiro seems to be getting more organized, their goalie is going to cause them a lot of problems this year. We had a lot of counterattacks and chances for Galo in the beginning of the game that came because their goalie would, restart play and put the ball back in without paying attention to where Galo's players were. And he would try to pass the ball to a defender who had an attacker right on top of him. The ball would get intercepted and he would have to make a crazy save in order to, prevent a goal that came from his error, passing the ball without paying attention to where people are. If he keeps doing this, teams are going to make him pay for it. So I don't know, but can't wait to see them fall flat on their face if that continues to happen. It would be hilarious to watch another year where they don't go back up to first division. So it would be hilarious to watch. So actually, forget that I said this. Please just keep doing what you're doing, so teams can make you pay for it. I can't wait to watch you guys humiliate yourselves again. Parabéns pro Galo. Mais uma conquista, another victory, another title. Everything that we have been in Brazil, we have won for the past year. And it looks like hopefully we're off to the start of another great year Our next game is actually going to be away this week. We start our campaign for Libertadores. Our first game is away in Colombia. Today is Saturday. On Wednesday, we have an away game at Tolima in Colombia for Libertadores. It should be really exciting. This is the end of Campeonato Mineiro, and it has ended the way that we all wanted, with Galo lifting the taça, Galo lifting up the cup. Parabéns para o Galo, mais uma vitória, mais uma taça muito merecida. Até a próxima. Tchau.